Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, and this is my review for Cabernet.
Oh cabaret, oh cabaret, oh cabaret.
No, not cabaret, you idiot. Cabernet.
Oh.
Half-wit. Anyway, dear viewers, this particular video game originally released last year, and just like that beautiful bearded bastard Barry Burton, you're probably wondering,
what is this?
Cabernet is a 2D narrative RPG video game thingamajig set in a 19th century Eastern European inspired world. We play as Lisa, a young vampire struggling with her morality and the supernatural world she has been pulled into. So as Lisa, we explore a hidden world of political intrigue, class conflict, and decadent corruption. In a nutsack, that basically means you're going to be making morality choices throughout the game, which will either lead to you being a good little vampire girl or a bad little vampire girl. So anyway, let's review this narrative RPG thingamajig the only way I know how, badly. And let's start with what I really enjoyed about Cabernet. For those of you who might not be familiar, as well as being an absolute gaming fanatic, I'm also a bit of a horror movie buff. Particularly horror movies featuring vampires, werewolves, gothic castles, an abundance of nobile young men, six-pack, sex, and sinister characters. Haha! So the basic premise for Cabernet was right up my alley. To go along with that, I also really enjoy this game's visuals. Neither cartoony nor realistic. Something in between. In fact, I've seen this exact graphical style somewhere before. I just can't put my finger on it. Mostly because my finger is busy controlling my mouse at the moment. No, not the rodent kind. The electrical kind. You know, that you connect to your computer and all that shit. The game also has some fabulous voice acting, which is good in a game like this, because a hell a lot of this game is simply talking to other characters, making decisions with characters, chatting up characters, doing side quests with characters. So having the whole thing marvelously voice acted was glorious. This being a very narrative-focused game, I also enjoyed the way that I could personally affect the story, choosing to respond this way with a particular character, being nice to another character, being nasty to the same character if you so wish, choosing to feed on this poor character, choosing to kill this character. Like I already hinted, it's the basic morality system that we've seen 1,275,000 times before. But I enjoyed it here, and it did lead to me being able to witness several different endings to this game in my various playthroughs. Also, of course, depending on what choices you make is going to determine what events you may or may not see in the game. So let's try and explain the gameplay just a little bit more in case any of you are still confused out there. This works very much the same way as a lot of these narrative RPGs. You'll have a basic day-night cycle, during which you get to choose what you do and do not do.
Ha doo-doo.
Shut up, Bertrum. Will you carry out tasks for the local doctor? Will you try and chat up that vampire girl that you've got the hots for? Will you assist another character in her music school and her relationship with her husband? Will you carry out sinister missions for the local bar owner? Will you help a group of revolutionaries? Will you expose the corrupt mayor? Will you simply spend your time reading a book or 10? Will you help that poor bespectacled chap who somehow got himself killed and now his soul resides in the body of a doll? Honestly, outside of a couple of compulsory story-focused events, how you spend your time in this game is simply up to you. And of course, this being a vampire game, you will have access to certain vampiric abilities like turning yourself invisible, turning into a bat, hypnotizing people so that maybe you can change their way of thinking, and or feed on the poor bastards. Because in this game you have a kind of sort of hunger meter, but instead of it being for food, it's for blood. So you have to try and top that up where possible. And of course, if you take too much blood from some unfortunate chap, well, you might end up killing them. It's a very basic but very relaxing gameplay experience. There's no combat. There's no real puzzle solving outside of some very, very simplistic puzzles. There's no sword fights or fighting over the soap in the shower. This is very much a very talky decision-making kind of game, which obviously isn't going to be for everyone. But for me, I had a very, very good time with this game, and as such, I don't really have any negatives for my experience. Of course, if you're looking for a vampire action game, then I wholeheartedly recommend that you go and play Vampire, Vampyr, on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox. But if you're looking for something a bit more gothic, a bit more casual, a bit more relaxing, well, then I highly recommend Cabernet. Therefore, I declare that Cabernet is splendid. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, another review by yours truly. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then, feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.